I was waiting for some things to play out on the chart before recording this video. What if I would tell you there is at least a 50x Ethereum beta coin that is live on the marketplace currently you can actually invest into and capitalize heavily in the upcoming several months, with the most of opportunity cost paid of holding it through the deep. Today we're revisiting the thesis for Andy on Blast. We're revisiting the thesis for Blast as well. We're talking about the alt season that I think will be happening by the end of this month. We already have seen a small pumpage from yesterday. World Liberty Financial that I mentioned yesterday in my video is up 20% in just one day. Subscribe to this channel and like this video. You want YouTube to recommend these videos to you and you don't want to miss these videos as well. 20% on a daily basis, which is just the start. Trump inauguration is still 6 days from now. World Liberty Financial can have crazy options to pump and move higher from here. Today, we're talking about Andy on Blast, the full thesis, Blast ecosystem. I will also give you chart overview, local time frame, high time frame, and I will tell you what exactly will be happening moving further. I was waiting for the things to play out on the chart. They're finally there. I'm finally ready. Like this video, let's start. 2 days ago, I asked AIXBT that Blast also has the same functionality as Sonic Chain, which each and every influencer is screaming about implementing currently. I asked, Sonic is implementing 90% of network fees going back to developers to incentivize developers to build on chain. I asked, Blast has it as well. AIXBT told me Blast is that fan. Well, we were able to use the followers of AIXBT as exit liquidity just recently. I was screaming about GG for the whole last week. I was screaming to you to buy at $900,000 market cap. It pumped to $9 million with essentially the money of followers of AIXBT that we successfully took on this channel. Let's figure out if AIXBT is actually wrong one more time and if we are right, and we will also be able to make money one more time, because AIXBT is kind of sharing the opinion that is present between consensus, right? This is not something that you're making money on. Let's start our overview with Blast. Why I'm starting with Blast? I mentioned yesterday that I do think that this month is going to be very, very bullish for Blast price action. It's going to be very, very bullish for Ethereum, and essentially upcoming half of the year is going to be very, very bullish for Ethereum and for Blast as well, as a natural Ethereum layer 2 that is flooded to death. The thought I want you to ingrain in your minds. It's one of the most important ones out there. Why? Solana did 30x this cycle. Solana did 30x this cycle, not because of the fact that it pumped so much. It's because it was flooded to death during the bear market. This is the key out there. This is something you need to understand and something you have to focus on. That Solana did so much access because it was flooded to death. What is flooded to death currently? Blast and Andy on Blast. When buying dips, the best assets to buy usually are those that dip the least or the most, rather than those in the middle. In other words, buy strength or death. This is the strategy I'm following right here. Coming back to Blast. Why Blast exists in the first place? What is there about Blast? Like, it's another layer 2 and the thesis I have for this video, which is quite crazy. All your popular chains that everyone is jerking on around you, all your influencers, everyone you're watching, all the guys in the market, all the consensus, they are copying features that are present on Blast. But none of these chains have all of the features. And all of the features only Blast has. Why? Because when you're developing a blockchain, it's immutable. You cannot change a lot of things in the future. Yeah, you can add some things, but oftentimes the way you would be adding them, it won't be the most secure, it won't be the most safest way. The best thing is just plan everything in advance, implement it, and run on this infrastructure. This is how these things are being developed in the first place. Coming back to Blast, why Blast exists. Ethereum plus stablecoin native yield. This is something that's present on Blast only, at this stage. We pretty much can just put your Ethereum stablecoins into your wallet in the Blast network and they will passively, natively give you yield out there. Very great feature for the whales out there, just to hold some of the supply on Blast, just to establish the TVL for them. 100% of fees from decentralized applications going back to developers. There were crazy stories back in May. Some guys, they were opening they were creating some projects on Blast. They did not have even a token. They did not need to rack anyone. None of this was done, right? They were just launching the application, it was used, and they were making as much as $400,000 a month. Developers, just on the chain. Absolutely crazy. And airdrop's flywheel. Blast has the airdrop flywheel that is essentially implemented on Hyperliquid in a way. Everyone is speaking about Hyperliquid, but today we're talking about all of these chains, and today I'm explaining and sharing why all of these other chains that are being discussed that is so popular, they're copying the features from Blast, and none of them have all the features out there. First of all is Base. Introducing USDC rewards on Coinbase wallet. Earn 4.7% APY just by holding USDC on chain. This is something Base implemented in November 20th. Exactly copy of Blast functionality. The only thing is that Base only offers APY on USDC. Blast has APY present on Ethereum as well by default, which allows for so much more on chain because Ethereum is the underlying pairing asset for all the on-chain DEX infrastructure. For any type of token on their on-chain, Ethereum is always underlying asset because it's essentially Ethereum layer 2 in the first place. So Base, they have all these coins, all these meme coins that is developed, virtuals, everything. It's copying Blast. It's copying Blast in terms of functionality that it is actually applying currently. At the same point of time, I would say that from Base point of view, it's quite adopted at this stage. Like the thesis of Base, it's quite accepted on the marketplace. You will be able to make some gains there, 100%. Bunch of memes and AI agents out there, they're essentially bottomed at this stage. But I'm talking about real opportunity. I'm talking about 50x pluses right here. Moving further. Second thing that we have on Blast is 100% of fees from dApps back to developers. Fees wars are coming. Sonic Labs just shipped mainnet with 90% of network fees going to devs instead of validators. Straight up incentive flip from every other layer 1. Blast has this feature since the start. Sonic is copying it at this stage. Who's talking about Sonic? Ansem, CryptoBunter, all of your largest influencers are talking about Sonic at this stage. They're not talking about Blast. Yet, Base is copying Blast, Sonic is copying Blast as well. Let's move to feature number 3, which is airdrop flywheel, which in a certain way was copied by Hyperliquid, and I will explain everything to you. I will explain all the flywheels that are present. The flywheels that are present on Hyperliquid, the flywheel that is actually present on Blast as well. It's the key importance right here to understand what is it about the ecosystem, what is it about the asset, because the most thing in this market, the most valuable thing in this market is conviction. If you are buying anything on borrowed conviction, you will never be able to hold it. If you're never able to hold anything, you will never be rich in this industry. You will just keep losing money. Hyperliquid airdrop flywheel. Users trade and generate fees. Fees are being collected by Hyperliquid. Fees are airdropped to users that trade based on trading volume. So you're doing certain actions on the platform, you're opening leverage longs, you're opening leverage shorts, you're trading on spot as well. Everything collects fees. Part of these fees, essentially, is airdropped to the users in a shape. Part of these fees are eventually airdropped to users in the shape of tokens. Therefore, the price of the token is constantly going up in expectation from people of the marketplace to receive more airdrops in the future, and because of the one main factor that I will share just shortly. And this essentially leads to the fact that the price go up. Why this is possible? Why it works in the first place? The only reason this is possible, product market fit. Kobe agrees with me on this one. Crypto is misunderstanding hype success as due to 31% airdrop supply and no venture capitalists. Yes, these things help, but more importantly, Hyperliquid has product market fit that provides a 0 to 1 user experience improvement, among other things. You can't copy paste hype tokenomics and expect the same airdrop price action. Everyone is focused on the structure of the airdrop and not focused on the fact that the product is just really good. You can't do a good airdrop if your product is shit, no matter how you structure it. This is key of understanding what is happening currently. The whole reason why Hypecoin is going higher and why this flywheel with airdrop essentially works is because people are actually using the product, they're actually trading on the platform, they're actually generating fees, which are generating revenue for the company, and part of this revenue is actually being spent on the airdrops out there. Why I'm saying that this thing is kind of copied from Blast, and Blast have the same thing in the first place, because through the whole existence of this chain, the whole idea is to constantly incentivize users that are active on chain. people who are farming Blast Gold, people who are active within the decentralized applications on chain. And a bunch of people, they're definitely still farming this gold. A bunch of people left, but I have a feeling that because of the fact that a bunch of people left, the ones that are actually still farming it, they would probably be receiving a crazy airdrop. I have some speculation, I have some thought process around Blast airdrop as well, because right now the date is maybe around like middle of the summer, things like that. We will have a discussion about that. Just understand the situation. Back in the summer, everyone was hyped up about Blast, everyone was farming it. The airdrop was not that large. Right now, everyone is thinking Blast is dead. The money of the airdrop is just going to be divided within the smaller amount of people, which will probably cause huge FOMO, which will probably cause people wanting to enter back into the project and into the ecosystem like crazy. But we will have discussion on this one. So why I'm telling you currently that this system is copied from Blast, and why Blast is not successful, why Blast is not that successful with this type of model at this stage. I'm presenting you with two Blast flywheels, and then I'm moving forward into the explanation of why, from my point of view, Blast flywheels, they are not successful at this stage. We're not seeing something that is happening with Hyperliquid at this stage. Blast flywheel number one, it's based on yield. So it's based on the fact that there is native yield on the chain that people are receiving when they're putting their Ethereum and USDT on chain. They're essentially receiving a percentage of the funds over time as just a native yield that is present on the platform. You don't have to do anything. You just put your Ethereum onto the wallet on Blast. You receive yield by design. Users hold their Ethereum and stables on chain. Small percentage of yield is acquired by Blast chain. The more TVL it has, the more it earns. This is a very, very important thing because all of the chains out there, your Solanas, your Ethereum, the way they're making money, they're making money from fees. So they're collecting fees, and this is the revenue of the company. Blast is different because 100% of fees are going back to the developers of decentralized applications, which means that Blast is collecting none. And then you have a default question, but how they're making money? How they're able to give anything as airdrops, like where the revenue source is coming from? Revenue source, from my point of view, is coming from the fact that a small percentage of this yield on the whole TVL that the chain has, all the money that people put on this chain, is actually going to Blast itself. So let's say they're giving 4.7% yield on stablecoins. What stops them from taking 0.2%? And let's say in reality, it's not 4.7, it's 4.9. And they're taking 0.2 to themselves just for working on the chain, for providing the whole thing. And the same thing is happening with Ethereum. For the whole TVL that they have, these are crazy amounts of money that they are definitely capable on to grow the company, develop the company, build the products which they're making currently. But this is the whole new different model, because what you can do, you can give away the fees back to developers and you are making money other way. And it's like, it's win-win situation, because you're providing the functionality that no one has on any other chain. Native yield base is copying from you. It's crazy. Sonic is copying from you, but none of them has all the features. None of them has all the enablement that is possible on this chain. Absolutely crazy. So what happens next? Yield percentage generated is used for the airdrop. So all this Blast Gold, all the things that they're essentially giving away. I do think that obviously part of the revenue that they're making is being given within the airdrops that they have, right? And the revenue that they're making is from percentage that is coming from yield. Price goes up, ecosystem value as well. This is more about the value ecosystem of the ecosystem in the first place, because I do believe if they move the airdrop date earlier currently, they will cause huge FOMO, because everyone just forgot about Blast. They think that the next airdrop is only in the summer, so it was like 1 year after the previous one, right? Absolutely crazy things I do think might be happening. Most of these things, like a lot of these things, these are just speculation. These are just thought process, but a lot of my thought process, things I was saying about business value and different companies involved and things like that, they all came to be true. It's just that the airdrop was not that successful, as I'm thinking currently, is because just too many people farmed it in the first place. Is this the case currently? Absolutely not. Not a lot of people are farming Blast airdrop at this stage, which means that the ones that are will probably be receiving crazy amounts of money. Blast flywheel number 2. Again, the reason Blast has 2 flywheels is because it has all of the features that other chains are trying to copy from it. The only thing it lacks is product market fit at this stage, but we will talk about this thing, because if this thing would have product market fit, it's in tens of billions of dollars right away, no question. We will talk about this. Blast flywheel fees. Users use applications and generate fees. Fees are being collected by developers of these applications. Fees are not going back to the team, to the Blast team that founded and developed the chain. Fees are going back to the developers of decentralized applications. Your DeFi platforms, your different dApps that people are using, and others. DApps launch tokens for their dApps, creating wealth effect on chain. This one is pretty important, because do you know how Solana meme season started? Did it start because some things happened? Maybe because so many people were so rich in crypto after the bear market and they had so much money to waste on memes? Nah, everyone was poor as fuck. All your influencers, guys, they were so poor. And right now, most of the money that they made, they actually took from you, which is crazy, right? But we are moving with other thought right here. Essentially, Solana meme season happened because there was a stimulus happening, Jupiter airdrop, and a range of airdrops on Solana chain at that time, which gave free money to the users of these protocols. And naturally, people decided to spend this money on the most wealth effect friendly coins out there, which are meme coins. On-chain assets most reflective to wealth effect on chain memes go up. This is the thesis for this one, and this was happening on Solana back then. So this is Blast flywheel number 2. We did not have airdrop season on Blast yet. All of these dApps, they were constantly just gathering fees, making money, because they're making everything for themselves. Chain does not take anything for themselves. Everything goes back to developers. Even in Sonic case, that is copying this feature from Blast fully. 90% of fees are going to devs. On Blast, it's 100%. And the chain is live for a year already. And what is important, in this summer, it was top 6 total value locked chain ever created. In just 6 months, it had more TVL, total value locked, than Base, with a bunch of activity on chain as well. So the initial question you might ask is that, like, Stan, why then, if it's so cool and other chains that all the influencers I'm watching are copying functionalities from Blast, why Blast is just that? Like, why nothing is happening on chain? Why the price does not move up? Why the price of Andy on Blast is not going up as well? Well, the only reason it is not happening is absence of product market fit. There is no global product market fit for Blast at this stage, right? Like, it does not have a killer application currently. It does not have like a DEX like Hyperliquid that everyone is using. There are some attempts with Blast Fantasy. They created a copy of prediction markets as well, right? It was successful to a certain extent, but not that much to get the attention of the large part of the market out there. Polled markets is still at the top currently, right? So we have to figure this out. The solution for the whole flywheel to start to work is obviously product market fit on Blast. Is essentially more people coming to the chain, trading, using it, generating fees and things like that. I would say that even like this cycle, the only 2 like large product market fits that we saw was Solana with meme coins. That's why the price appreciated greatly. And second, like just recently is Hyperliquid, but I won't say it's that large. I would say that like by far at this stage is essentially Solana. Solution. Is the chain with native Ethereum yield? Largest whales are on Ethereum at this stage. In crypto, largest whales are on Ethereum, 100%. They're not moving their liquidity anywhere. Only can be moving their liquidity to layer 2s. Like, they're not bridging to Solana, to Sonic. They're not doing this with tens of millions of dollars. They simply don't trust these chains. And 100% fees from decentralized applications going back to developers has the highest chance to generate an application with product market fit. It's like the ground for something like this, the soil for something like this to grow, to happen, is very nice. From my point of view, is very, very nice. And this was part of my original thesis essentially as well. When I figure out everything that is happening on this chain, I figure out back in the summer that this thing needs product market fit. But when I'm thinking about different chains, why I should essentially build products here and there, like the soil is just the best on Blast from my point of view, because you are getting access to all this Ethereum liquidity because it's Ethereum layer 2. You have 100% of fees back to developers. It's like, and you have native field that you can also build crazy Ponzi's based on within your application, because yeah, you can just put your funds on chain, you will be receiving these percentages right away. But the craziest Ponzi's from my point of view, they will be present on Blast as well, because you have this as a basis yield right away on chain, right away, right? Very important. So I was thinking that kind of the best ground for something revolutionary, something nice to happen, that is not just speculation, not just there to rob people out of the money, is Blast. Why it makes sense to position right now? We're protected by speculative upside anyway. Why? Ethereum is being flooded to death. Everyone thinking, yeah, Ethereum is breaking out. Remember all the influencers buying Ethereum at $4,000, saying to you, telling you that we are going higher, we're breaking out. Did not happen. Everyone is longing, right? Didn't happen. I was bullish as well. I got liquidated out of $300,000. So I paid my price. Blast is being flooded to death at this stage. I do believe that, like, it's awesome that these videos, they actually help me to think as well. They help me to formulate my thoughts. It's a very, very simple thought process. That Blast airdrop in the summer was shit because too many people were farming and too many people were hyped about it. Right now, especially if they move the date of the airdrop, I do think it has higher chance of being good, just because of the fact that not a lot of people would be receiving it at this stage, because not a lot of people were farming through this time. They probably thought that they have time and things like that. If they're moving the date of the airdrop, which might be happening, we will speculate on this a bit later, right? It will be just crazy. It will finally create this wealth effect on chain. It may create an on-chain meme season as well. Palm.fun is actually present on Blast as well. Did you know it? There is a very, very small amount of platforms where Palm.fun is present. On Blast, there is a Palm.fun version that was developed back and launched back by Palm.fun at 29th of February of 2024. We'll talk about this as well. Our asset that we're talking about right now, Andy, is being flooded to death as well. Other Andy's sucking liquidity plus ecosystem FUD. It's not just ecosystem FUD, it's also the FUD of the main underlying token, which is Ethereum. Everyone is bashing Ethereum currently, everyone is bashing Blast like double time, right? Even more. And Andy, everyone is bashing it as well, because you have Andy on ETH, you have Andy on BC currently. They are doing better at this stage, but we're talking here about outsized returns, about upside. And there is the reason I'm doing this video currently, is because I think the chart stood the test of time. This is the reason I'm doing it. I was wrong before. I thought that we would be bottomed at around $4 million in market cap, but we will discuss this a bit later. As soon as the sentiment changes, price as a lagging indicator surges up. Smart investors are already positioned front-running exactly this. And then Blast might just be one of the best beta Ethereum assets to the upcoming run. Effectively, it's 50x Ethereum on leverage, and here is why. Simple explanation why it's 50x Ethereum on leverage is because natural thought process. People will be seeing Ethereum ETF starting to receive more and more liquidity. What is the natural Ethereum beta play for retail out there? Ethereum layer 2s. They know the arbitrums, all these things. What is the lowest market cap Ethereum layer 2 at this stage? The most flooded. And from my point of view, the only one that actually makes sense this cycle. They have the reason of it existing in the first place. It's not VC scam in the first place. It's Blast, right? It's also flooded to death. Remember my take from the start of this video. The reason Solana did 30x this cycle is because it was flooded to death in the bear market. Because if it was not that low in the bear market, let's say it would only go to $30 in the bear market, it would mean that it just did 5 to 6x, right? From the bottoms, which would be kind of like similar to AVAX, and no one will be talking about Solana. This is crazy. Coming back, guys, very important thing. When buying dips, the best assets to buy usually are those that dip the least or the most, rather than those in the middle. In other words, buy strength or death. My choice is buying death, because buying strength, I do understand that upside is limited. Yeah, it's nice, the asset is strong, but I'm not in the market where I can lose anything in a blink of an eye to just buy strength out there, right? Probably with my sizing, I would like, this is a strategy I should be adopting, right? But I'm just not playing like this. So to sum up, why Andy on Blast is a 50x leverage on Ethereum. End Blast is the largest meme on Blast chain, which is Ethereum layer 2, which is flooded to death. End Blast is flooded to death as well because of the presence of other entities as well. There is change of sentiment coming for Ethereum. There is a change of sentiment coming for Blast. There is a change of sentiment coming for End Blast. This is the opportunity. I would say you're protected by the speculative upside currently. I know I said it before. I know I said it about $4 million market cap as well. This should be it. I entered myself 3 weeks ago. I bought $20,000 worth of End Blast at around $2.5 million in market cap. I thought we had bottomed around that stage. We went slightly lower. I see some things on the chart that I will share with you currently. I don't think we will be going lower from here. I think we are at the reversal, and the price action in the recent drop, in yesterday's drop, when Bitcoin revisited $90,000 is something I would like to focus on. And now we'll talk about the reason why I mentioned yesterday that I think Blast is actually a great altcoin to buy for the upcoming run up in January. Because you have to focus on the things that have bullish events happening for them. And the best thing, because you have to understand most of these projects, what they're doing, they're just waiting for the whole bear market. Then they have a small pocket of the alt season. They gather all the news they only can gather, and they start to pump up this news in the small, essentially, time frame of the alt season happen. Because this is the distribution phase. From one point of view, they have to pump up the price of the asset. From second point of view, they have to push retail capital to enter so they can dump the supply on them. That's why they're essentially pumping up this news. But if we are focusing around something that was really being built for a large point of time, but if we are focusing on something that was being built for a long point of time, right? A real product, a real thing, a tangible thing you can actually touch and see and check out for yourself. This is the best thing out there. Blast mobile platform is launching alongside tokenomics updates later this month. Tokenomic updates is a very, very interesting one because the fund on the marketplace currently is connected with the fact that people are kind of bearish on the Blast token. They're saying it doesn't do nothing, it's just a governance token. So maybe they will be changing something right there. All Blast, decentralized, and maybe it's actually something that is connected with the airdrop out there, right? All Blast decentralized applications should make sure to distribute points and gold to users ahead of those changes. There will be no January gold distribution. We already are seeing certain changes to how the airdrop mechanism works, right? This next sentence is very important. All users should make sure to sign into the Blast website with the wallets as well. Do you remember when Hype airdrop happened? There were so many posts of people. Man, I was using Hype, but I did not receive the airdrop because I forgot to accept terms and conditions with my wallet. This is something I do think that might be connected to it. And this is one, and like, I would say that this part is one of the main parts of my speculation that they might be moving the Blast airdrop season 2 sooner in the process. Because why? They would want to punish all the people that faded and did not farm in the last 6 months. They want to incentivize people who stand true with the platform. They want to create hype because if the amount of people that was farming is lower, and it definitely was lower, then each of these people will be receiving more money, which means that it's natural just FOMO and hype creation. Because like this chain was number 6 by TVL. Everyone knows about it in the marketplace, 100%. They do understand what will be happening with Ethereum currently. They do understand they simply just don't have time to wait till summer, season 2 and things like that. They have to be aligned with the market. I do believe that 2025 should be repeating 2021 in terms of the price action and our tops and things like that. Those far where we're tracing nicely, right? I do think it will essentially continue. We'll share an official launch date shortly. It was shared on January 9th, which is 5 days ago. This is the thing why I'm bullish and why I actually bought $20,000 of ND on Blast around 3 weeks ago. Obviously, there were news in advance that we might be seeing a potential Blast mobile application launch in January. So, to sum up what we went through so far. First, all your chains that all your influencers are talking about are copying Blast functionalities at this stage. Second, we do understand what will be happening with Ethereum. This is seasonality of Ethereum. We do understand what will be happening with the FOMO on Ethereum layer 2s. Third, we have obvious bullish events happening for Blast this month. And we have certain incentives within this ecosystem for the founders of the exchange, for Pac-Man himself, to punish people that neglected him, that dumped on him. I can feel this rage sitting inside them. They were developing this platform. It's new. It uses a different revenue model. They were able to give the option to make money for so much people. They are giving 100% of fees back to developers. They have native yield implemented that is not present in any other chain. They got so much backlash. But it's great because do you know why other layer 2s are not receiving a lot of backlash? Because no one cares about them. This reaction definitely shows people cared a lot in the summer. They were disappointed because I think too many people were sitting in the chain. Not enough money was generated by the Blast team to be able to give away so much to so many people. I do believe the situation currently is different. I do believe that, like, my speculation is that what they can really do is to push the date of the airdrop sooner, to screw up everyone who was bashing them, who was making fun of them, things like that, incentivize loyal users of the platform, which any airdrop should be doing, and create certain Wells effect and Blast season on chain as well. And now we're moving forward with the 50x leverage bet on Ethereum that is flooded to death at this stage, and we're checking out local price action. What was happening? What is happening? What's going to happen moving further? Let's start with the local time frame, and then I will give you all the levels. I will give you everything that I think will be happening with this asset moving further. First of all, this is a piece of the local price action since the end of December, pretty much till the current levels. What I want to note in the first place, we have seen crazy drop on the marketplace yesterday. A lot of assets, they dumped like crazy. A lot of alts, they dumped like crazy as well. What did End on Blast do since these local tops? It showed 10% move down. What does it show? It shows that through one of the largest drops in the recent price action on the crypto market, it did not move. It did not flinch. It shows that people who are holding this, they're not selling, and people are buying as well, right? It's strong at this stage. It's not moving much. BTC dumped. Imagine this, BTC dumped 10%. End on Blast dumped 10% as well. Can you imagine this? This is the strength out there. But this is a 50x leverage asset on Ethereum. What do we have here? We have this formation at the bottom, which is essentially a reversed head and shoulders pattern, which commanded for the reversal on a bunch of altcoins and a bunch of assets out there. We finally have it on the chart. We did not have it before. Like, it's just in sync with the whole price action, with the whole situation in the marketplace at this stage. And if you think this is just something I came up with, I can show this pattern on a bunch of charts out there. Here is Sui. What Sui did since the presence of this pattern, it did more than 6x's, right? Crazy price action. This is AVAX as well. The same thing is happening here. One bottom, two bottom, three bottom. Reversal, head and shoulders, up only from there on the high time frame. 3x for AVAX. We can check out something like Sushi. Do you have something similar happening on this chart as well? We even have double cases of this pattern, right? One right here around the August 4th drop, right? And one right here around November 4th drop. Why the same pattern is being printed? I explained this to you in the yesterday video. Is because this is the most efficient way to rob you out of the money. They're just psychology. And you have the most effective psychological tricks. Psychology of human beings is not changing. Why change anything? From the point of view of these people, 6.5x's. This is something that we have seen. This is something that we're seeing on the Andy on Blast chart at this stage, on the local time frame, on the very, very local time frame at this stage. What happened as well is that on my X page, I actually called the bottom for Andy on Blast at $1.5 million in market cap. Max border in Blast memes has been hit. Blast mobile app is coming. $1.5 million in market cap, Andy will be a god entry. Charts been sideways for a long time, and most capitulated into time now, not even based on price. This entry today feels goated as fuck. Few people can probably feel and see it. I better get some solid credit and recognition for this in the future. Thanks and enjoy the gains, Andy bros. Forever bottom is in. Congrats if you held. Now it's time for you to get rich if you made it this far. This was called $1.5 million. which is exactly the bottom for this asset. This is just monthly generational bottom. I'm not seeing the market going lower from here, to be honest. I'm seeing us going higher. What's interesting is that the text from this bottom call, the text was copied from crash call of calling the bottom on Boba to $1.1 million in market cap on February 5th. The text was copied. I just changed some things to Andy. I've done it on purpose. So coming back to our midterm structure, because first of all, we have to understand what is the asset that we are buying. I hope I delivered my message on what I think is the asset that you are buying. What are the beta plays? What is the speculation out there? What is the upside? What is happening with the chain, with the asset, and things like that. Right now, I would want to give you some proper overview on what do I think are the levels that might be present on this asset and what are the things that you should be focusing on yourself. Here are the core two purple rectangles, resistance and support areas that are present on this chart. Let's talk about the first one. The first one is in the range from $4 million to $4.5 million out there. This would be the core resistance area. What I'm expecting from this chart right now is to essentially move up. The healthiest move up will be the move up in the pattern of cup and handle, right? This is something I'm essentially expecting. I expect us to reject first time from here and essentially break through, consolidate around here and move higher from there. Why I expect us reject and consolidate from this level is because we had seen a bunch of buying and selling activities happening around these levels. A bunch of people were capitulating at this level, and I would think that a bunch of people would want to sell their asset when we are back at this level as well. They would be thinking, oh, like I waited so much and things like that. But like one of the reasons I'm essentially doing this video currently is because I do believe that opportunity cost for holding this asset is gone at this stage, is zero, right? Yeah, like it might be not the one who would be pumping like the fastest, right? But I'm confident it will be just going up and higher from here. And most like the vast majority of opportunity cost of holding this asset is paid already by the current holders and by people who are constantly selling this thing since summer, essentially, since the end of June, which is pretty crazy time frame if you would think about that, right? Most of this opportunity cost is paid already. That's why I'm making this video current, because I do think entering currently is essentially the key right now. Then what I do expect from this asset, once we are above $4.5 million, I expect us to move to $20 million. I would say us just breaking safely above $5 million is a confirmation that we are going to at least 20, because we don't have any resistance right here. Like it's nothing, right? So we'd probably be going somewhere right here through these levels till this second purple rectangle. In my previous videos, I was saying that these are the freest money out there till $20 million in market cap. I still believe that because $20 million in market cap is a crazy liquidity area. You can see we've done a bunch of trading here, a bunch of trading here, bunch of trading here, and it's also a nice psychological level, $20 million, which is exactly a 10x from these levels for the asset. Personally, I do expect the same situation to essentially happen, us rejecting from here, going slightly above, consolidating, and hopefully breaking up, right? Because we should be receiving a bunch of liquidity into the market. Blast should be crushing it as well, 100%. And essentially from there, once we are higher than $25 million in market cap, we are kind of confirming that we're going to the previous all-time high. This is the chart that I'm seeing to play out on and on Blast at this stage. And as you can see, this is a beautiful, beautiful reversal currently with a very, very beautiful and nice cup and handle, with all the core levels pretty much present. Following this price action should be met. The sum up of the reasons I do think that this will be happening. We will be having Ethereum season. All the blue chip Ethereum assets, they will go up like crazy. The ones that will go up are the most flooded at this stage and they are the most vampire attacked. Over time, I'm saying over time and in the percentage gains, right? That's why I do think that Boba is actually going to do quite well as well, because it's been vampire attacked and flooded quite recently as well, right? And it's just like this time of the year is the time where Pepe beta play assets will be the ones that will be receiving value, because crypto degens, they're not going to buy Pepe at this stage. Like it's too high for them. Maybe they will leverage loan, but I doubt that like any member of crypto Twitter is buying Pepe at this stage. only if like he has size, like only if it's like 7 figures or high 6 figures, and he just wants something to maybe be able to make 3, 4, 5x on, right? But this is exactly the time where repricing should be happening for the underlying beta assets. The ones that will be receiving the most in the percentage gains are the ones that were flooded, that a lot of people sold. A lot of people would essentially have FOMO on top of that. We have very, very positive overview for Ethereum. President of the United States of America is buying Ethereum, right? Through his own altcoin project. It's crazy, which is up 20% after I mentioned it yesterday in my video, right? Then, what do we have? We have Blast, the ecosystem that was flooded heavily, but known by the market. Again, people were flooding it because they know it, because they had high expectations about it. You cannot neglect this. This is very, very important. We have beautiful, bullish things happening for Blast. We have other chains copying Blast out there. We have this blue chip meme that like the content is unmatched by any other meme coin out there. Narrative is unmatched as well. Yellow character, yellow chain. It's on Blast. It's on Ethereum layer 2 as well. It's nice. It's like logically it makes the most sense in comparison to bread on base, essentially. Personally, I do see this one as one of the most outperforming assets in the upcoming pump of the Ethereum. I explained you the logic multiple times already. Most flooded, small cap, layer 2s, Ethereum doing well, blue chip, all these things, right? And the reason for it is because it's flooded a lot, it's down a lot, right? And great things are happening and going to happen for the whole ecosystem, for the broad ecosystem, which is Ethereum, and for the Blast as well. Here's my buy of $20,000 on December 19th, right? First step to buy low, sell highs, buy low. You can also see it on chain right here. You can filter by $19,000 and you would see my buy right here 26 days ago. However, we already had a guy buying $15,000 worth around 2 days ago. He actually pumped the market cap like from 1.7 million to 2.1 or something, right? And he was able to acquire 0.75% of the supply, right? So it's quite interesting because for his buy, he actually acquired similar supply that I, but he paid 5k less, right? So I did not buy the exact bottom, but this guy, pretty much, he bought the exact bottom out there. And pump.fun announcement that is live on Blast. How many chains actually have pump.fun? Crazy. Blast has it, which means that these guys, they were also betting on Blast back in the days. Select a chain, Blast. Nothing is unfortunately is happening here, but it's that at this stage. We'll see what will be happening with this one moving further. And I do believe it had some competition on Blast, which was native to Blast, because people like developers, they wanted to collect fee natively on Blast as well. This is pretty much it. Thank you very much for watching this one. Great overview. These type of videos are the reason of why this channel exists in the first place. These are the ones that I enjoy doing the most, with deep research, with thought process, with speculation from my end. I do believe a lot of the things that I'm talking about currently will be coming into fruition, coming into reality. We just have to wait. But the soil is too good. I'm not talking even about Blast currently, I'm talking about Ethereum in the first place. And all the things that will be happening with this ecosystem. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be seeing you tomorrow as usual. Stay healthy and rich. Bye-bye.